Hello guys, how are you? I hope you watch our channel and we can grow by that and you can share with other people. So we have a parsha Tazria and we have a big question, big question in this parsha. Hashem is telling us, guys, you have to eat kosher. Many people ask, what does it mean kosher? Can you explain us? And Hashem is explaining us. He gave us very good guide, step by step, what does mean kosher. Let's see, because kosher is one of the three pillars. You have a kosher, Shabbos, and doing mitzvahs, including studying Torah. So if one of them is not good, the chair cannot stay into legs, just three minimum. Okay, so let's talk about kosher. What does it mean kosher? Who is kosher? How to find kosher animals? It's very big question. Okay, just imagine, we are in the desert. So we left Egypt, we are in the desert. In the previous book of Shmot, we were building Mishkan, which is a big tent. It's a portable Beis Hamikdash. But it doesn't matter, portable or stable, it still has own rules. Many other people, not Jewish people, they build own temples, they build own rules in the temple. It doesn't work for us. For us, it works like Hashem gave design of the temple, of the Mishkan. He set up rules in this Mishkan, and he set up what kind of animals could be brought and how they can be brought. And if anybody makes mistake, so in this parsha, we read in parsha Shmini, we read like two sons of Aaron, they were killed. Why? They didn't follow the rules. And it was good example how Hashem require. The more person is growing spiritually, the more requirements Hashem asks him, requires from him. So you can say, okay, I don't want to grow, I don't want have these high requirements. It's another way of thinking. But as far as Hashem gave us neshama, godly soul, He wants us to fight, He wants us to grow, He wants us to get through all difficulties in our life. That's why He gave us two neshamas, godly neshama and animalistic soul, vital soul. And He made balance between them. So who can fight, who can win? Animalistic soul, our sages compare animalistic soul with a buffalo, with a big bull, and godly soul is like a rider, man. How man can beat and kill big animal? Have a weapon. Everybody knows about Karida. So what Torah has in his hands? He has a knife or even a saber. And for us, it's a Torah. Torah is our tool to beat animalistic soul, to beat our vital soul. So now let's go back to animals. Hashem wants us to sacrifice only kosher animals, and Hashem calls them pure animals. So we have two kinds of animals: pure and non-pure. So a Torah using very delicate words, very diplomatic way of saying. Non-pure, that's it. Okay, and Hashem wants us to follow His rules. He wants us to be clean. He wants environment to be clean for Him, because He's super clean. He cannot come when it's dirt, when it stinks. He cannot. That's why we don't read any kind of prayer or psalms if it stinks, if it's a bad smell. So let's go to the kosher animals. We have three kinds of animals, so to speak. Animals who are living on the earth. Also we have animals, fish, who lives under the water, and we have birds. So all of them have own rules of kashrut. Let's find out. First animals who are running around the world on the earth. How to understand who is kosher, who is not. And Hashem gave us 4 types of animals who are not kosher and who has only one kosher feature. It's a camel who has double stomach, so he's chewing his own cud, but his hooves are not so split. Also daman, it's very similar to that. Also rabbit, who is chewing his cud but has no hooves at all. And very famous pig, who has split hooves but doesn't chew her cud. Very simple. And interesting to say, the Torah was given roughly 3,500 years ago. It's 3,300 with something. So, and Hashem gave in the Torah 4 features. Since then, it was opened Europe, Asia, Siberia, America, North America, South America, Australia, New Zealand, and nobody found 5th animal with the same feature, with one feature. Only 4 animals which Torah mentioned. The question is to people who are a little bit sarcastic to Torah, people who live by logic, by common sense. Please answer me. How people who are wandering in the desert 40 years, how can they know the whole animalistic world in the world? How can they know all these features? How can create rules if no God? They did it by themselves. They were wandering 40 years, it was boring. They decided to write a wonderful book, very nice book, and they put certain kinds of animals, certain kinds of features. How do they know? How Moshe Rabbeinu could know about shrimps, lobsters, octopuses, mussels, etc., etc.? Where could he see them? Or about deer? There was no way. So we have either it was created by people or it was created by God. So you decide, guys, it's your choice. So finally, in order to understand which animal is kosher, which is not, our sages, big giant sages, they gave us one feature. If animal, one second, let me find exact description of that. It was like a phrase from Talmud. I'm sorry that I'm looking for. So in order to understand, let's say we know that this animal has to have like a double stomach. He chews his cud. How can we know How can we know? We have to stay by the animal and watch how he is eating. Who will do that? Nobody. So it means we cannot know what's going on. So that's why we have to understand, have to have like a more visible sign in order to say this animal is kosher and this is not. And our sages who are studying Torah very deep. It's not like us. So it's very high spiritual people. So, and they say if animal has horns, it's kosher. We will ask, what is the connection between horns, hooves, and stomach? Nobody knows. But they realized that animal with horns, you can name them cow, bull, sheep, goat. All of them have horns. All of them are completely kosher. Now we have to kill them properly, like a shohet knows how to do it, and prepare in a kosher pot, serve in a kosher plates. It would be, everything would be kosher. Now about waterfall. What about waterfall? It's also easy. Whoever lives underwater, they have to have scales and fins. And interesting, whoever has scales, they have fins. So scales is feature number one. If you come to anybody and you see on your plate good steak of the fish with skins, don't worry, it's kosher. So it means all of them, like I mentioned before, mussels, shrimps, lobsters, etc., it's not kosher. I understand you can argue, you can say it's very tasty, it's very healthy, because it has a lot of protein, blah, blah, blah. Yes, you're right. I won't argue. I'll tell you about healthy a little bit later. So now the third kinds of animals are birds. So we know ducks, we know doves. So all birds who are eating grass, grain, they are kosher. And any fish, any bird who eats other animals like frogs or whoever, that's not kosher. So how to understand? And the Torah listed them by name, exactly. And also I found another feature which is very visible. If this bird sits on the branch like this and fingers all together, it means it is kosher. If bird sits like this, here is a branch, sits like this, it's not kosher. If it sits like this, it's kosher. Very simple. So now you will ask me, why classical medicine say it's very healthy to eat shrimps, to eat mussels, etc. And Torah says no. We talked about godly soul, we talked about animalistic soul. Godly soul, where godly soul lives? In the brain. So if you feed your godly soul with kosher food, you give a lot of healthy things to your brain, to your memory, to your analytical skills, just by eating kosher food. So respectfully, if it's not kosher food, so, and that's a big difference. If it's healthy for your stomach or it's healthy for your brain, because brain is the main part of our body. So, and last thing that we talked about, pure animal and not pure. And Torah always saying positive things, no negativity. If you remember when Noah was loading his ship with animals, Torah was saying, take pure animals and not pure animals. Torah didn't say word dirty. Torah is very diplomatical. It teaches us that, guys, we have to know how you say, what kind of words do you use. It's very, very, very important. And Lubavitch Rebbe, our Rebbe, never said about Palestinians they are our enemies. He always saying our friends. And we understand it. So on this positive note, let me finish it. Have a good Pesach, kosher Pesach, very good month of Nisan. All the best, and see you next time. And thank you very much for watching, for giving comments, for giving likes, and for sharing our channel with other people. Thank you very much, guys, and be well. Bye bye.